Yo, what up? The Deuce, Raise on to that podcast. Today, other than my hat, you like my hat. We got these at the draft part. I think it's cool, it's reversible. It's extremely tight. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm a rock it. I ain't gonna be on here too long for my head start hurting. But today we're gonna talk about Jason Wright. Ben Standig wrote an article at The Athletic about a source that's close to Josh Harris ownership group that the expectation for them is to keep Jason Wright aboard once the ownership takes over. I'm not surprised by that. A lot of fans are, but I'm not. I'm going to tell you why. Also, another project called Red Zone Cinema, on how you can contribute and go along with this ride on this new project, Red Zone Cinema. Is it's going to be exciting for me. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. But on the other side of this, let's talk about Josh Harris.
This is Hog Farmer Chris and the 2022 Commanders Fan of the Year. Before you listen to Red Zone in the Lab podcast, I want to thank you for your support in bringing awareness to the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation, which helps children and their families affected by pediatric cancer. You truly make a difference. And with that being said, please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube.
Welcome back to Red Zone and Lab podcast. I am Deuce. All right, so let's get right into it. Ben Standig from The Athletic. He's on a show a couple weeks ago. He wrote an article about a source confirming to him that once the Commander sale is final with Josh Harris group, that they're going to keep Jason Wright on. I'm going to quote him. It opens up soon to be Commanders owner Josh Harris is not expected to make major staff changes soon after taking over the franchise. That makes sense to me. When it comes to the football side, let's talk about the football side of this. I believe even if an owner would have been finalized in the spring, like March, before the draft, anything like that. I think it's bad business practices to come in and fire everyone, right? Because you have to learn and know the current practices of the business. And that's the same thing with NFL teams and on the football side. I didn't think a new owner was going to come in and fire Ron Rivera and the coaching staff and all those different types of things. Not only because it's a bad business decision, but also because of Ron Rivera and what he has done with this organization the past few years, how he has brought it from a terrible culture place to a great culture place. When it comes to the building, I think Ron Rivera is a Super Bowl coach inside of the building. No, he hasn't shown those same winning percentages on the football field. He's been underwhelming, to say the least. And I'll go on record, like I've said plenty of times before, that if this was a regular ownership, if we had regular ownership, this team, Ron Rivera will more than likely been fired after this past year. But we don't have normal ownership practices here with the Commanders, everything that's going on with the sale of the team. So I never thought on the football side, once the new ownership come in, that they're going to start cleaning the house. I think that's giving them time to see what's going on. And with this team, the business side is way more important right now, right? We're at FedEx where the lease is expiring soon. We're looking to try to get a new stadium, looking at locations. So the most important thing for new ownership when they come in is to start repairing the relationships of old, right? Start mending those and gapping those bridges, getting back in the room of those past relationships that has been damaged by this, by the ownership these past couple decades, like going back to try to, reestablish those current relationship, building more relationships, because it's something that we want. We want a new stadium. We want to make a new print in the Commanders community within the DMV and around the world. So I always thought that business side was going to have the quickest impact, not immediately, because they still need to, be able to learn the business, learn what's not working, what is working. Even though I know they probably because of the sale and them having to, vet the stadium and the finance and all that. So I think they have an idea of what's wrong, but at the same time, they're not in the building, right? So I think I always thought that they was going to give time for the business and the football side. I believe the business side was going to make moves first before the football side. But when it came to the football side, I'm a firm believer that Jason Wright was sent by the league. Like I firmly believe that was not a Dan Snyder hire, right? That's just not a Dan Snyder hire. But can't confirm nor deny those reports. But when it comes to Jason Wright, yes, he's made some mistakes. No doubt about it. He's made some mistakes. He's also, came out and said, "Hey, look, I made this mistake. I'm sorry. I'm going to do better." You have to commend him for that. And I was also thinking, when it comes to Jason Wright, when you bring someone into organizations like this, franchises has been so rich in history, the community and all those things has been so rich. There's always usually people there to receive these people and kind of sit down and say, "Hey, look, this is what this team is about. This is our history. Let me show you our history. Let me teach you our history. Let me teach you what's important to this team, what's not." I don't think we had any of that when Jason Wright took over. I mean, people were leaving left and right. People didn't want to be here. Like, all types of things was happening on the business side. And a lot of people got fired. It's a whole lot of stuff. So all of those, what we call pillars, in this community, we call pillars of that organization, probably was none there. So I'm not trying to make excuses for Jason Wright, but I understand if that was the case. So about the new owners keeping I'm not surprised by this at all, right? I mean, Jason Wright has been within this whole process since it started. He's been the face that we've seen. Reports of him is the one that's taking these potential owners on tours, talking to them and all those different types of things. So, and I think he's very highly respected within the NFL circles. There's also some reports that came out about, possibly him being looked at as an NFL commissioner and the respect that he's garnered. So I don't think this was ever going to be, as soon as the owner take over, they will fire someone. But what I did believe was going to happen, because Josh Harris, he understands the sports world, quote unquote sports world. So I believe that he was going to bring someone in to oversee business, not to like take over, just to kind of learn what it's about, just kind of observe from a distance. But he's not doing that, according to this report, which I think that's very good for Jason. And this is why I think it's good for Jason, because still his direct supervisor is the owner of the team, or owners of the team, depending on which owner he's going to be directly communicating with. So I think that's very big on Jason, that he's able to do the things that he set out to do, that he wanted to do, that he couldn't do for whatever reason from the past ownership. I think Josh Harris giving him an opportunity to show that he can be the team's president. So I'm very excited for Jason. I think this is a good move that Josh Harris is showing him grace, and also pointed out in the report, that it could just be temporarily, right? It could be for a few 6 to 9 months, whatever the case may be, or just to transition into something new or to a whole new group. I don't think that's the case. I really believe Jason Wright is going to be the team president moving forward. Because one thing that Ern, Commander Lorian, he said that he's retiring from that. He's now Mr. 405 in spaces. I didn't believe this at first, but it was like, and he was saying, like, just give these guys an opportunity to work without the cloud, right? Without that dark cloud over their head, right? So I'm with that now. Let's give, especially Jason Wright, let's give Ron Rivera those opportunities to work without this cloud. So I'm very excited to see what this hat is so tight that I'm sweating. Oh my goodness. So I'm really eager to see how this team looks, how this team operates without the cloud, because I really believe that Ron and company, they want to make certain moves that they just can't make right now. Like Ron said, they were strapped right now. They can't do this, they can't do that. Finances and all those things up in the air. So I'm really thinking the first month, I'm hoping to see some extensions. I'm hoping to see, some money moves within the organization. So we'll see if we see that. But on the other side, when it comes to Jason Wright, I'm excited. I'm not surprised. I am a little surprised that he's not bringing in anyone in that sense to kind of take. I think he'll still have some some people observing. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Not according to this report. But the fact that Jason Wright's direct supervisor is Josh Harris, I think that's a big win for him, and to be whether he can show without this cloud over his head. But yes, so that's it. This is Red Zone on That podcast. I gotta get it out of here. My name is Deuce. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.
Thank you for listening to Red Zone in the Lab podcast. Please subscribe to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Also, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.